You have the choice to either vote in person or vote by mail. They said that they waited in the car for about 20 minutes for the heavy rain to stop, and a member of their family actually says that she got hit in the head with a branch that looked pretty much just like this. She says she is okay. Wind is not making the situation any better. You can see all of this is smoke. It's filling up the road. We can smell it from over here, and it's so strong that it's actually stinging my eyes right now. Chris and Jordan, this all happening here on Grove Street just before 3 p.m. and neighbors tell Western Mass News a boy was hit by a car after getting off of the school bus. They say they know the boy. They say he's 8 years old, and they saw the incident. They immediately ran over to help the boy to keep him calm until police got here. Oh, Chris and Jordan, it's funny. Right as Janet was saying the wind was starting to pick up, that's exactly what we saw here. You can see it now. The wind is starting to gust. We're not seeing any rain yet, but we are seeing some dark clouds over top, and it's one of those situations where the side of the street that we're on, we're seeing those clouds, but then the other side of the street is just blue skies. Now, this happened right around 12:30. A lightning strike causing this hole in the road, and you can see it's still smoking. Now, again, this happened hours ago, and we've had some very heavy rain here in Hatfield, but the hole is still smoking. Chris and Jordan, I spoke to an attorney who represented Danny Crono's late parents. He says he believes there are hundreds of victims of abuse from the former priest. What some may have thought would be the ending to a nearly 50-year mystery is now the start of a bigger push to revisit the past. On Monday, Hamden District Attorney Anthony Gallooni said former Catholic priest Richard Levine was set to be charged in the 1972 murder of 13-year-old altar boy Danny Crono on Friday, the same day Levine died. Road to Recovery, an organization who helps victims of sexual abuse, stood across from the Diocese of Springfield on Tuesday morning, urging Bishop William Byrne to release what they allege are secret files pertaining to Levine, saying the church knows more than they let on.
Tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
The Diocese of Springfield tells Western Mass News in a statement, in 2004, the diocese handed all information requested and witnesses to the grand jury that was convened by the Hamden County District Attorney's Office. They go on to say the diocese cooperated with that investigation and all subsequent requests or subpoenas and will continue to do so. The news is shedding light on Levine's history of past sexual abuse claims. In 1991, he was removed from the ministry. In 1992, he pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 2 boys. And in 2003, he was defrocked by the Vatican.
One of his techniques was he attempted to scare his victims. I mean, he actually even used Danny Crono's murder. He said to one of my clients that I've gotten away with murder before. I can do what I want. And he told that to a little kid.
John Sabursky is an attorney who represented Crono's late parents. He tells Western Mass News he's spoken to over 50 people claiming to be the victims of Levine, but the total number of victims is believed to be much higher.
The state police investigators told me early on in this case is that they theorized that Richard Levine molested over 250 people during the course of his priesthood. And I think that might actually even be a low estimate based upon what I've learned since then.
Now with Levine's death, Skaversky thinks more victims may come forward. Live in Springfield for Western Mass News 11 at 11, I'm Lindsey Kane.
Studios with the exclusive story. Lindsey.
Chris and Jordan, I spoke to a group of homeowners today who all say their houses are starting to crumble from a mineral used to build their homes. They say they need help before it's too late.
These brown spots are the mineral pyrrhotite.
The mineral is rare, but when exposed to water and oxygen, it expands, causing concrete to crack and eventually crumble to the ground. The process is well underway in Mike Melanzi's home in Wales, arguably the worst cracked foundation in the state.
It's a big price tag to fix it, anywhere from $125,000 to $250,000 to basically lift the house and take all the old concrete out.
His walls are covered with deep cracks and holes, both inside and outside of the house. With just one touch, parts of the basement wall turn to dust.
It goes all the way through the concrete wall. So what is happening here is happening all the way through.
The right side of his wall is even starting to cave in.
There's probably an inch and a half or an inch and a half on the bottom of the top. touching in the middle. Eventually it'll come through, yeah, it'll fall in.
It's a nightmare Milanese isn't facing alone. Pyrrhotite concrete is estimated to affect thousands of people in Massachusetts. That's why a group was formed called Massachusetts Residents Against Crumbling Foundations. Members across the area all left with the same fate.
You worry all the time, is this thing going to fall in? And every time you go on vacation, you wonder, is it going to be standing when you get back?
I could stick a pen inside one of the cracks. Floors cracking and falling apart. Our house is all paid off, and we're hoping to pass it down to our daughter. How are you going to do that if your house is falling?
The fight to allocate state money to fix their foundations has been ongoing for years. But when the Champlain Towers in Surfside, Florida collapsed just 2 weeks ago, structural problems first noted years ago came to the forefront as a potential cause. Now local homeowners are looking for action, refusing to stand by and wait for another tragedy.
They knew about it, and the fix was expensive, so it wasn't done when it was needed. And we don't want to be here in that position with all these homeowners living in homes that they don't feel safe in and wondering what could happen while they sleep.
The impacted homeowners are pushing for a hearing into a bill that would lay some of the groundwork to fix this issue. There's also a push to use some of the money from the American Rescue Plan Act to fund these repairs. If you're interested in helping the group, or if you need to report a cracked foundation in your home, head to our website. That's westernmassnews.com. Live in Springfield, Lindsey Kane, Western Mass News. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on Western Mass News. I'm Lindsey Kane. Thank you, Amanda. And as Amanda mentioned, the indoor mask mandate in the Bay State is now lifted for those who are fully vaccinated. That means bars and restaurants can operate at 100% capacity with no social distancing. Yesterday was crazy. Some parts of Western Mass got a coating, other parts 6 inches of snow. Breaking news just into the newsroom. Several police officers are responding to an active shooter situation at a casino outside Green Bay, Wisconsin. Breaking news this morning as crews battled an overnight fire in Springfield. It happened on Salem Street just before 2 a.m. Now you can see flames coming from the 4th floor window. Luckily, Fire Captain Drew Pamonti tells Western Mass News no injuries were reported. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. We often talk about challenges during these difficult times, and one Massachusetts group of dog lovers and helpers knows that feeling well. To Palmer, now a viewer sent us this video into our newsroom from yesterday's storms. He tells us the rain came down so quickly that just getting to the end of Rondeau Street became dangerous. Over to Holyoke, where motorcycle riders teamed up with the International Volleyball Hall of Fame for the 3rd annual charity ride for our military kids. Hey, Don, so I'll take the clouds over rain any day.
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely, especially after the July
July,
we had,
I was
Lindsay.
just about to say. So
Yeah.
No sun, but it'll be warm and you can still do things outside.
Absolutely.
In sports news, it was an exciting night to be a Bruins fan for sure. The Bees leaving Game 1, Round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs with an impressive win over the New York Islanders.
From the Massachusetts Broadcasters Station of the Year, this is Western Mass News at 10 p.m. on Fox 6.
At least 12 people are displaced in Holyoke after a building collapsed this afternoon. A look from the scene straight ahead. Plus, in another must-win game, the Patriots coming out on top against the LA Chargers. And the post-Thanksgiving surge is well underway. What health experts say we can expect coming up. Well, the storm is over in Springfield, but some parts of Western Mass are still recovering from yesterday's very bizarre weather. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on Western Mass News. I'm Lindsey Kane in for Sarah Grinelli. Let's send things on over to meteorologist Zach Duhame. And Zach, yesterday was crazy. Some parts of Western Mass got a coating, other parts 6 inches of snow.
Exactly, and really location.
Some developing news tonight. At least 12 people are without their homes tonight after part of an apartment building collapsed in Holyoke. It happened this afternoon on West Street. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis spoke with a woman now displaced from her home. He joins us live with more. Leon. Thanks, Leon. The New England Patriots keeping their postseason hopes alive on the West Coast by defeating the LA Chargers 45-0 and extending their win streak. Western Mass News reporter Izzy Post joins us now in studio, breaking down the Pats' dominant performance. Izzy. Thanks, Izzy. More developing news tonight. Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal attorney, has tested positive for coronavirus. In a tweet this afternoon, President Trump revealed that the former New York mayor has the virus. At 76 years old, the CDC says that puts him at a higher risk for possible complications from COVID-19. Recently, Giuliani has been working on the Trump campaign's attempts to overturn the election results in several court battles. A new month and a new grim milestone in the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. recorded 1 million new COVID-19 cases in the first 5 days of December. For perspective, after the first coronavirus cases were confirmed in the U.S., it took the country almost 100 days to reach 1 million. And experts say the Thanksgiving holiday surge hasn't even revealed itself yet. Western Mass News correspondent Meredith Wood has the latest. Now let's take a look at the latest coronavirus case numbers in the state. The Department of Public Health reporting more than 4,700 new cases today. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in the Bay State to more than 247,000. The state also seeing 48 new deaths today. The statewide death toll now stands at 10,700. Well, Santa made a stop today in Agawam, and getting a holiday photo this year amid the coronavirus pandemic looked a little bit different, but the tradition continued with safety measures in place. Western Mass News reporter Braceda Landaverde has more. A quick reminder before your commute this week, starting tomorrow night, the beginning of Exit 16's bridge reconstruction begins. Crews will be demolishing Mondays through Thursdays for the next 3 weeks from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So be sure to keep an eye out on Route 202 if you are traveling or working during those hours. Coming up on Western Mass News, a new stimulus package may be in the works, while lawmakers are still disagreeing on straight ahead. Plus, we're watching the 2 Senate runoffs that will determine control of the Senate. A look at the debate stage, that's next.